Hello viewers, we will discuss the public goods. Okay, already we will discuss the public goods, but in this video we will discuss the Musgrave views on public goods. Okay, Professor Richard Musgrave, as American economist, he was a leading public finance specialist. He divided public goods or wants into social goods or merit goods. Professor Musgrave termed public goods social wants. He was of the view that these social wants should be satisfied by the government. According to him, private wants are provided through market. Musgrave further classified public wants or public goods into social wants or goods, merit wants or goods. So, Professor Richard Musgrave view on public goods means public goods has classified into social goods and merit goods. He was the American economist and public finance specialist. That's why he is interested to the classification of public goods into social and merit goods. Okay, we discussed previous video only what is public goods, what are the characteristics of the public goods, what is the differentiation between the public and private goods. Okay, in the public goods we have the two types of public goods, social and merit goods. Okay, now in further slides we discussed the what is meant by the social goods and what is meant by the merit goods, what are the characteristics of the social and merit goods, what is the difference between the social and merit goods. Okay, what is social goods? Social goods are goods which are provided by the state because their consumption is non-rival and exclusion principle is inapplicable. The classic examples are defense, land order, parks, etc. In the case of social goods, the satisfaction derived by an individual consumer is independent of his own contribution. Their costs are met through the public budget taxes, for instance, not through the market where private buyers buy. Social goods are goods that social goods are provided by the state and it have the characteristics of non-rival in consumption, non-exclusion. Okay, there is no applicable of the exclusion principle. In the social goods, all peoples are benefited from the social goods which are provided by the state or government with free of cost used by the people in the society. So examples are defense, land order, parks. Okay, these are all our goods are the social goods the which has given the satisfaction to the individual consumer. So how the government is providing the social goods to the society, how the cost is meant to producing the social goods. The costs are meant through the public budget. Example, tax. With the taxation system, the government is imposed the taxes on different sections of the peoples in the society for which the government is getting revenue from the taxation system. Okay, not through the market where private buyers buy. In the private goods, not through the market. It is the cost is not meant from the market where private buyers buy. Okay, only the social goods, the production of the social goods, that cost is meet from the taxation system or non-tax revenue to the government. So it is to be noted that social goods are subject to the principle of consumers' sovereignty, that is, they are produced on the basis of individual preferences. Okay, the social goods is subject to the principle of consumer sovereignty. Why means they are produced, the government are produced on the basis of individual preferences. In spite the technical distinction between public and social, the two are often used interchangeably. Okay, public is goods is nothing but the social good. There is no differentiation between the social and the public good is also classified the social good. Okay, whatever the characteristics have the public goods, that characteristics have to the have the social goods. Okay, this is the this in the pictures we have the parks. So how the government is provided the recreation to the people through the parks. Okay, that is also one of the social good. Parks, national defense, flood defense, land order, these are all the social goods. So in the public goods we have the another classification is merit goods. Merit goods are the goods that are provided generally by the government to certain sections of the society. Unlike in the case of pure public goods, the merit goods are not provided to the entire society. Rather, they are given to certain targeted people. The government here believe that the deserving people may underconsume such goods and hence provides these to them at low cost or no cost. The concept of merit goods in economics was introduced by an American economist, Richard M. Musgrave. So this classification is done by the Richard Musgrave. So what is the definition of the what is the meaning of the merit goods? So merit goods is also generally provided by the government in the certain sections or targeted people to the society. So the government here believe that the deserving people may under consume who are deserve and who are desire to getting that commodity that good, uh, the merit good can be provided to that particular sections target people. And this cost is also the merit goods has the class cost is also very low or no cost, maybe sometimes no cost or the low cost is there to the merit goods to the targeted people in the society. So according to Musgrave, some goods or wants are considerable meritorious. Okay, this merit goods also called as meritorious goods, while others are considered undervalued. For example, education and health services with subsidies given by the state is desirable and meritorious. So also consumption and production, education, health service, and with subsidies. With subsidies means there is a free education, free health services, and all that health schemes also under the merit goods. So why? Because of the health services, education with subsidies means that is the some the people who are the targeted people who are the very desire to learn and who are desire to their higher education levels, so that people have the some subsidies in education, some in the targeted people are the students are not paying the whole amount for their education. The government has some given some reimbursement to the students to improve their to upgrade their education and to upgrade their education and to improve their health conditions by the people in the society. So that is called the subsidies. So in the merit goods also have there. So also consumption production of alcohol is harmful and undesirable. Therefore taxes should be imposed to reduce the incidence of drinking. So when we are see that in the merit goods also have this some demerit goods we have to see. So that is also alcohol is a very harmful and desirable. Therefore taxes the government is imposed the heavy taxes on the particular harmful commodities which are very harmful to the society. So because if after the imposition of the taxes heavily, to reduce the incidence of drinking. So this is the merit and demerit goods, some briefly defining in this slide. So examples of the merit goods. So in this slide we have some examples to the merit goods: primary education, basic health care, life insurance to poor people, etc. The report by the National Institute of Public Finance and Policy, titled Central Government Subsidies in India, classifies merit goods under two categories, merit 1 and merit 2, in terms of their priority. Merit goods include private goods, private education, basic health care, life insurance to poor people. So that is central government subsidies in India is also classifies merit goods under two, merit 1 and merit 2. So what are the aspects are included in the merit 1 and what are the aspects are included in merit 2, we will discuss. So merit 1, elementary education, primary health care, prevention and control of diseases, social welfare and nutrition, soil and water conservation, ecology and environment. These are all are the basic things are included in the merit 1 merit goods. So merit 2, education other than elementary. So after than elementary, what are the education levels are there? So which are all are included in the merit 2. Sports and youth services, family welfare, urban development, forestry, agriculture research and education, other agriculture programs, special programs for rural development, land reforms, other rural development programs, special programs for northeastern areas, flood control and drainage, non-conventional energy, village and small industries, sports and lighthouses, roads and bridges, inland water transport, atomic energy research, space research, oceanographic research, other scientific research, census, surveys and statistics, and meteorology. So these are all are the examples of merit goods which are listed in the merit 2. So now coming into the non-merit goods, that is the demerits also. We have called in the merit goods, in the public goods we have the social, merit and demerit goods. When coming into the demerit goods, that is also called as a non-merit goods, are used so these are interchangeably we can use it, but the meaning is the same. But the items that are not merit goods can be considered as non-merit goods, whereas those that are extremely opposed to merit goods can be considered as demerit goods. In the case of non-merit goods, there is no tendency to underconsumption. Rather, there is a tendency for overconsumption. Similarly, the consumption depends upon the individual ability to pay or his income. High income encourages him to consume the good in more quantities. Okay, that non-merit commodities have the persons have overconsumption and depend on their individual ability to. If one person have the high level of income, they can pay the high amount to the particular commodity. So what demerit goods? Demerit good is a good whose consumption leaves a negative impact on its consumer and others in the society. Example, alcohol. Consumption of alcohol can cause health problems for the drinker. Besides this personal cost, it also leads to external cost as the taxpayer may have to pay for the drunkard consumers' health care as a result. If it is overconsumed, the marginal social costs exceed marginal private drunkard cost. So because the marginal social cost is exceeded the marginal private cost due to the external cost imposed on society, hence a high tax should be imposed on demerit goods. So marginal social cost is very greater than the marginal private cost. Means the marginal social cost means that the government is imposed external cost on society, that is the taxes are imposed on the society. So that's why the taxes that cost is increased than the marginal private cost. So this is the examples are also mentioned in the slide. Okay, this is the what are the demerit goods I have mentioned in this slide. Next, features of merit goods. So what are the features of merit goods? Merit goods are not provided on the basis of consumers preference, rather they are given by the government on its own preferences. Okay, merit goods, it is not the individual preferences. The merit goods are provided by the government preferences. Merit goods are given by the government for a particular section of the society, but in the case of public goods, they are provided to all sections of the society. So why? Because the government its own preferences to the merit goods, because the merit goods provided to the particular section of the society. When we coming into the public goods, all sections of the society. That's why the preference has to be changed to consumer to the government. Merit goods produces social benefit by directly benefiting the sections that receive those goods. When primary education is provided to poor sections, it benefits the nation. Merit goods produces positive externalities. This means that as a result of merit goods supply, the receivers give back some related benefits to the society. Merit goods are aimed for personal consumption, not for the consumption for all. So this is merit goods produces positive externals, because in the merit goods we have the education, health, scientific research, agriculture researches are there. That's why if the government is spending on those producing the goods, definitely the society will be benefit from the expenditure by the government. So that's why the result of merit goods supply, the receivers give backs compulsory. Whenever the government spending more money on research, so from the research, so many persons done the research on the particular areas, definitely they will provide the fruitful results, and fruitful outcomes will be provided to the government. The government will be benefited through the research policies. So that's why merit goods are aimed for personal consumption, not for the consumption of all. So what is the difference between the merit wants and social wants? Merit goods are provided to the entire society. Merit goods are provided to target individuals. Hence, in the case of merit goods, there is exclusion. One, the other goods. There is no exclusion under social goods. Okay, the social goods are provided to the entire society without paying any single amount or free of cost. Okay. When coming into the merit goods, there is exclusion, there is a rival consumption in the merit goods, and there is in the social goods there is no rival consumption, and there is a non-exclusion principle, and there all persons are included. All persons are purchased the social goods which are freely provided by the government. Okay, when coming into the merit goods, it is only particular target people or desired people also will desired also people will get the merit. And also one more thing is, and who are the ability to pay, who are the purchasing power is there, only that persons maybe get this merit commodity. So that's why merit commodity, merit good, merit want has there is exclusion. This is the difference between the merit wants and the social wants. Thanks to all for watching this video.